You spoke, I'm listening. Okay, so I presented it to you. What should I do next? Should I do the engines? Should I continue on the Hornet? An overwhelming number of you said continue on the Hornet. And that's kind of the way I was going with it anyway. But I did listen to what you guys had to say. Save the engines for downtime. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, just to recap, that's the LT1 350. And that thing is, it could be machined. Everything can be fixed on it. I'd need one new connecting rod. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find another engine for it. I have a couple of local, not local, but like an hour and a half away from me on Marketplace where I saw a few engines for sale. So I'm going to go this weekend to look at one. Somebody out there, one of you had mentioned that you have two of them. Not sure if you were willing to sell them or whatever. If you're watching this video and you can get in touch with me, my email link is in the description of the channel. So if you want to email me, you can email me at wrenchingwithkenny@gmail.com. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, so I know it drives a lot of people crazy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Chevy engine in the AMC. Why? Because it's what I have. I have everything for it, and I thought I had a good engine, but obviously I don't. So I'm going to put the 350 in it, and the main reason being is because I have just replaced the clutch on the Camaro, what this engine and transmission came out of. It's a 6-speed. It was a Z28, is a Z28. I still have it. And since I have a new clutch, I have the transmission and everything else for it. I have a cam for this thing. I have an intake for this thing. I have a carburetor for this thing. I have everything. Well, I have most of what I need to do it. And it's not like I'm going to butcher up the car to do it. I could always switch it back to an AMC motor engine if I can ever get my hands on a 401. I did find a 401, but the guy, I don't know. It's just, he had some personal family issues, and I understand. So anyway, that's beyond what we're talking about here. So just let me show you. So the AMC, I have the whole rear suspension out of it. I thought I made a video on pulling the rear end out and pulling the left spring out. I'm not sure if I posted it or not, but I definitely don't have it saved. Yeah, and that's a 6-liter, that's a 6-liter, that's a 5.3. And over there, I have two 5.3s. And this is the 5.7. There's the messed up crank. Here's the bad connecting rod. And somewhere over here is the bad camshaft. It's here somewhere. Well, there's the bad lifter that ate the camshaft. But anyway, like I said, you guys want to see me keep going on the AMC, so that's what I'm going to do. So what I have to do is straighten out this garage first off, get the garage straightened out. I'm going to make a video on pulling out the other side leaf spring, dropping the gas tank out of it. Then I have two nice casters for this thing. I'm going to make something to support the rear suspension or the rear of the vehicle and lay it down on casters. I'll put the front wheels back on it. I have everything I need to rebuild the front end on this. I got to convert it to disc brakes because it's 4-wheel drum. And as many of you know that have driven cars with 4-wheel drum, they stop awesome once. And that's about it. After that, they're not very good. So I'm converting the front to disc brakes. The rear is going to be disc brakes because it's getting a Ford 8.8. The Ford 8.8, I showed you that, disassembling it. I cut the ears off of it. I ground it down. I got to weld shut a couple of holes that I accidentally made with the plasma cutter. But yeah. Once I get this thing on casters and I can actually roll it out of here, it's going into the next bay over. Because I have another garage there. It's 3 garages wide. And the reason it's going over there is because the ground is perfectly flat in that side. On this side, the ground kind of goes at an angle down. So like one jack stand is like 4 locks up, one jack stand is 5 locks up, another jack stand is 3 locks up, and the other one is 5 locks up because the ground is so uneven in here. And since what I'm doing is I'm relocating the leaf springs in the back. Like the leaf springs sit to the outside of the frame rails. I'm going to put them into the frame rails. Like I have to notch out the frame rails, and it's going to go into the frame rail itself. Mopar used to do, like a lot of cars used to do that, and a lot of people used to do that on their muscle cars and stuff, and the reason for that is so you can get a fatter tire in the back. This thing has a very big wheel well opening, so I could put a good sized tire back there. But the problem is it's limited because of the leaf springs, because the leaf springs sit to the outside of the frame rail, closer, to the body, like the quarter panels and stuff. So if you move it to where the actual frame rail is, If you move it that far in, the spring, then you have all that more opening. You get like an extra 6 inches out of it. So, you know, you could fit a good sized tire, because right now you can't fit a really good sized tire underneath this thing. So yeah, so that's the way we're going to go with it. So it'll be a 5.7 carbureted. It's the LT1 engine, so it's the roller cam, it's the aluminum head, the whole 9 yards. I even have a set of small block Chevy headers that fit those heads. That's why I want to do it. I'm going to probably have to cut them and modify them, but so be it. I have a Prothane polyurethane front end kit for this. I got to rebuild all of that. I think I already said that, but I didn't say what it was. I got all new steering linkage and ball joints and all that other happiness for this. I'm going to convert this car and make it not convert it, but I'm going to bring it back to its original violet color. So I'm going to start with the engine bay first. I got to get a small sandblaster or something, because I got to figure out how to clean up the engine bay and get all the yellow paint off. I mean, somebody did a professional job painting it, but I'd rather have it the original color. And since I have to do body work and stuff like that anyway, may as well at this point. So yeah, what else can I show you? So yeah, this one I had boiled the block out at the shop because we have a machine that can do that. This one I pulled one connecting rod and piston out because I wanted to look at it. This one I got to open up ring gap because I plan on boosting this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that 5.3 yet. I'll do something with it. But here is the Hornet. And it's a nice car. It really is. You know, a little worse for wear in some spots. But it does have some rot on the sill panels underneath. Nothing dramatic. You know, it's easily repairable. But yeah. So, and there's that 8.8. I have to narrow down this side. This tube is longer than this tube. This is from a Ford Explorer. Or was it the other way around? I don't remember. But anyway, I don't remember. I guess it's this tube that's longer. Whatever. I got to shorten it down because one side is like 3 inches longer than the other side. There I have replacement rocker panels for this thing. There's the old rear that came out of it. But yeah, so I got to clean all of this up. This is going to be my staging lane. I'm going to go look at a... Oops, hold on. So we'll get started on this shortly. Let's see what else. Let me walk you out here. Just shut that light off. I got to unplug the plug. Into this bay, and there's the Ford 351. We're actually going to be putting that in the truck shortly. Yeah, so in the back room here, oh, see, I have headers. So that's a set of small block Chevy headers. Those are LS headers. Those are LS headers. And those are small block Chevy headers also. Yeah, so there I got the new coil springs for the AMC. I'm going to put Caltrax rear springs and the Caltrax setup in there. What is Caltrax? Caltrax is basically it's basically like a traction control system that the company Calvert makes the rear leaf springs and everything else for. So that's what we're going to go with. And the Camaro is going to get a 6-liter with this. Any of you know what that is? It's a turbo 400 automatic. But why does it have a throwout bearing? Turbo 400 with a throwout bearing. You ever seen one of those before? I mentioned it in an earlier video when I first picked it up. That's a clutch 400, they call it. It's been basically modified to accept a clutch, like a standard shift, but it's still an automatic. So instead of a torque converter, you use a clutch. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to doing that because I never had one. I always wanted one, and I think that would be pretty darn neat. So yeah, that's going to pretty much end this video. It's just a short recap video, nothing spectacular. But yeah, so the 351, hopefully that truck shows up here next couple of days. We're going to start putting that in. All right, that's pretty much going to end this video. All right, guys, I hope you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. And if you could, please subscribe. All right, have a great day. Keep wrenching.